All right, guys, welcome back. Today we are going to start talking about how to find the slope between 2 points without a graph, though. So in the past, we have used a graph. Here's your x-axis and your y-axis, and we had our nice pretty line that went through it. And we would simply count what is the vertical change over the horizontal change. It's vertical over horizontal. Today we're going to be doing that, but without having to rely on a graph. We'll be able to think about how we can find that change mathematically without relying on the graph. So let's keep this in mind. So the vertical, that comes from the y-axis, and the horizontal comes from the x-axis. So from this, we can create a formula, which means if I subtract the two different y's, and I'm going to label them as 1 and 2, so I know that they're two different ones, and I can put that over the difference between the x's. Okay, now the 1 and 2, don't get hung up on that, okay? That's simply a label so that you can separate the two different coordinates that you're going to get, okay? So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to have the first coordinate be 2, -1, and the second one be 3, 7. Okay? So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start first off by labeling these 2 points. So I want you to picture where these points are on the graph. So 2, -1 is down maybe here somewhere. 3, 7, so this is going to be kind of steep, okay? So picture what that looks like. We're only moving over one space, but we're going up a lot, okay? I'm going to start by labeling that I know the first number in the coordinate is x and the second is y. And again, the 1 and 2 are kind of just arbitrary labels. It doesn't matter which coordinate is 1 and which is 2. A lot of people like to make the second one 2 because it's the second one. So I'm just going to take that formula that we came up with on top, and I'm going to replace all of these letters and labels with the numbers that I just found. So my first one is a y2, which we labeled as 7. I'm going to subtract y1, which is -1. Okay, so notice there is already a subtraction sign in the formula, so I have to subtract -1. I should see two minus signs there. In the denominator, I will have 3 minus 2. And then I'm simply going to actually do the subtraction. So on the top, 7 minus -1. Remember, a minus negative becomes positive. He's all happy. And I end up with 8 on top. In the denominator, 3 minus 2 will give me 1. So that means for every one space that I go to the right, I need to go up 8 spaces. That's why it's so steep up here on this graph. We are going to simplify that. Not that there's anything wrong with writing it as this fraction. That's actually really helpful in graphing. But we are also going to just write it as this whole number 8 so that we don't get confused later. And that's how we find slope.